where you just totally, your hormones just fall. Now, they will absolutely know that. They'll know whether they're getting this wibble wobble and or they're that clash. The men essentially don't know it. I'm a pretty big example of that. I remember being in my, middle 50s, I imagine, and I was starting to not feel good. I'd gained a lot of weight. I was up to 238. My energy was down. I used to like to come home and jog 5 miles, and I was coming home watching television, petting the kitty cats, and sitting down on the porch. I was run down. I wasn't, in bed in the bedroom the same as I used to be. My wife was wondering if I even loved her or not, and so she started, and she's told me I was turning into a curmudgeon. So I didn't even know
where that comes from, the curmudgeon factor. There we go.
I didn't even know what the word meant. I had to look it up, and then I was even more appalled, what she told me. My doctor said I was getting high blood pressure, high cholesterol. If I didn't stop doing what I was, I'd end up with diabetes. And my wife said, look, you're running hormone levels on everybody. Why don't you run some numbers on yourself, she said. And so I ran the numbers, and my gosh, I was so low. I was probably running around like a 90-year-old man with the numbers like that. So I got back on hormones. Now, that's been about, I would say, 17 years ago. I feel better than I did. I'm 73 now. I feel better than I did at that time. And, usually that doesn't happen. You usually get worse and worse. And that would have happened to me had I not listened to my wife at that time.
And a lot of men don't listen to their wives, so kudos to you. Right?
I will tell you this, that most of the guys come in, I would say at least 50% will come in because their wives had suggested that they do so. So they're very similar to me.
Yeah, we have to have a call out to the curmudgeon so they can be part of living life to the fullest, right?
Yeah.
So what are the main reasons people come to see you? Can you share with a couple of patient stories with us, please?
Yeah, well, so I'm a prime example of pretty much how a guy would come in to see me. Very similar. Like I said, usually the wives will send them in, usually in the 40s or 50s when people start experiencing symptoms of aging. And these would be like sleep problems or maybe endurance goes, brain fog is a big one, weight gain, energy level drags, sex drive. And then for males, it ends up being erections. For girls, it's dryness, usually in the vagina. And so these things I think when they come in and they're able to see, especially the literature, and understand that, hey, I went through that, or we have a lot of females, thousands that come in that have experienced the same thing, and we're able to almost take care of all that. Because a lot of these symptoms of aging are not really symptoms of aging, they're symptoms of your hormones dropping. So that gives you hope to know, hey, you can balance back your hormones. You can use natural hormones that have, not a lot of side effects to them, as you were talking about earlier. And so, yeah, two patients that I've got right here, and the one is Jackie, and she was so Jackie was 37. She was divorced. She was dating. She had 2 kids, 8 and 10. She was a medical assistant. She had great lifestyle habits. She didn't drink. She ate well. She exercised. She took multivitamins. You would think she would be feeling good, but she did not. She had a lot of complaints: headaches, breast tenderness, weight gain, 10 pounds, bloating, swelling, hands, feet, all over, food cravings, painful menstruation, and emotional symptoms were even worse. She was anxious, panicky, depressed, irritable, had a lot of increased guilt, decreased self-image, low sex drive, and fatigue. And as I told you, she's dating. Not a good way to start off those kind of relationships. We ran labs on Jackie and found out that she has a common problem that we see a little bit earlier before the perimenopause, or sometimes in the perimenopausal time, is that estrogen dominance. And I'm sure if you talk to Dr. Love that you know about that. Hey, Patty, was that Patricia?
Yeah.
You had that.
I was trained in hormone health stuff through nutrition.
We
So
talked about
very
types of estrogen. Yeah.
So you know how common this estrogen dominance is. So she had a real high estrogen level. She had a very low progesterone level, a very low testosterone level. So here we have the 3 major hormones of females are out of balance. And progesterone is a GABAergic. It helps you feel good, gives you good feeling hormones. It's a GABAergic, we call it, so chill out, relax, sleep hormones. The estrogen makes you feel feminine, but she had too much. If you have too much, it makes you irritable, anxious, just really not feeling good. And with two little kids running around, you need to be feeling the best you can. Yeah. So anyway, we were able to take her. We were able to, you can't really lower estrogen, but you can raise the progesterone. We were able to use herbs with hers and minerals to help her relax. We were able to use some natural progesterone at night to help her sleep. We put her on a little bit of testosterone and progesterone cream that really helped her, increased her libido, made her feel well. She lost the 10 pounds. Anxiety and panic had gone away, and she was feeling much better. As I said, this gives a lot of people hope for the future. The second patient, Shelley R. Now, she's a little more common. As a 55-year-old, she had two kids. She has one grandchild. When we saw her, she had a hysterectomy. Her diet was pretty good. She did have carb cravings, and she liked fast food. She drank 2 drinks a night, some wine, exercised 3 times a week, took multivitamins. She had tried Premarin, which is one of the horse mare urine type.
Right.
But did not like it at all. She said it made her swell up, and she didn't like it. Not a problem. A lot of complaints. She'd gained 30 pounds over 3 years. Her bone density was very bad. It was like minus 3.7. Literally, if she fell on a carpeted floor, she would probably break a bone.
Wow.
Cholesterol was high. The good cholesterol was low. The bad cholesterol was real high. She was getting high blood pressure. She felt flabby. She had vaginal dryness. No sex drive at all. Emotionally, she had poor sleep, irritable, and tired at night. She had hot flashes, night sweats, mental focus was out, and she had low energy. So pretty much those are all, you can tell right there, those are all symptoms of menopause, and they're very common ones that we see coming in. So we ran labs on Shelley, and she had a very low estradiol, and had a very low progesterone. Testosterone was low. In fact, all the hormones were low. Okay,
wow.
Only one that was going up was insulin. That's not good. Insulin, one of your hormones that makes you fat. So she was getting fat. She had insulin resistance. Also makes your blood pressure go out of whack and can increase heart disease. So, oh, by the way, her thyroid was off. So can you imagine? So we were able to get her thyroid back, her female hormones back, got her on some vitamins. We put her on a low glycemic diet, which is essentially going off a lot of sugar and things. And then we put her on weight resistance exercises to improve her bone density. Within about 2 years, it's an interesting thing. She went to the bone densitometry, and she came over here. We had a bone density right behind us as a radiology. And so the guy called us back, said, you have to send Shelley back over. I said, why is that? Because must have been something wrong with our instruments, she was almost normal with her bone density.
Yay!
And so I know they sent her. So we sent her back over. Sure enough, they didn't know what was happening. So we could tell if you put them on the right minerals, get on the hormones, get them on weight resistance exercises. Shelley had made her bones just go back to almost a 35-year-old normal, healthy level. So we were real happy.
It sounds like you improved her diet as well. It sounds like she was heading toward diabetes as in addition to all that. So one last question though, in taking hormones for menopause or whatever, are there side effects or are there long-term effects like breast cancer or prostate cancer?
That's probably the biggest controversy about. Who was that? Was that Patricia? Or
That's Patricia, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm having Kimberly's the Texas type, and that what we have.
No, actually, I'm from Vermont. I'm from That's right.
So this is a controversial. Is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. So you don't have to take hormones all your life. You can go off of them. Most people will not because they feel so much better. They just won't. But you don't have to take them. Those make you live longer and higher quality of lifestyle. As far as the breast cancer risk, that's been studied quite a bit. I think the largest study, so science, evidence-based, it's all in all the journals. It's an ongoing study. Dr. Rosier in France has studied 85,000 women for it's now 15 years. I've been continuing to watch his data coming out. Mm-hmm. And he has compared natural to the synthetics. He found that the natural hormones do not increase your risk of getting cancer any. So now you still have a risk of getting cancer if you're taking hormones or not, but the natural hormones don't increase that risk. So it's one of the things that we promote for that. I'm continuing to follow Dr. Rosier's studies. The synthetic hormones increase risk. The synthetic progestins increase risk, I think, in the range of 60% higher. And the estrogen somewhere in the rate of about 10% higher. So we don't advocate those. As far as prostate cancer, a urologist from Harvard Medical School has studied prostate cancer. He went back 80 years, so he went back in the 1940s, and he studied the literature, and he found out that if you use natural testosterone, that it does not increase your risk of prostate cancer. Now, men have a huge risk of prostate cancer, so we're constantly having to follow them, but it doesn't increase that risk over the natural population.
Yes, that's what Dr. Stephen Love taught us years and years ago. He ran around the country saying synthetics will cause cancer. And he was really admonished, as you know, a lot by the medical community. But I'm so happy to hear those results, because that just confirms, what Dr. Rose was what his name was.
That was Rosier. Rosier was the one with the breast cancer, and then Dr. Morgan Taylor was the one from Harvard, the Harvard urologist.
That's really awesome. So great work that you're doing. And unfortunately, we've run out of time. We could go over more, but we'll have to have you back. That'll be really great. So can you tell us how people can find you? What's the best way to get a hold of you and make an appointment?
In Sarasota, you can call my office, 941-926-4905, or you can go on and look at our website, therenewalpoint.com, therenewalpoint.com in Sarasota, Florida, and people can contact us by either way.
That's so great. Oh, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been wonderful talking with you, Dr. Watts.
You guys were so much fun to talk to, so thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning into our show on SocietyBitesRadio.com. Don't worry if you've missed a show. You can find them all on our website at SarasotaHolisticChamberofCommerce.com.